Good morning, everyone. This is Anna here, and I wanted to show you my newly renovated studio. So I am gonna give you a proper tour since I've never done one. And hopefully you guys can get some ideas from me. I'll tell you a lot of tips and tools that I use, brackets and stuff that I just installed. Installed these cabinets here from Ikea. So pretty much everything that you see here, I've installed it all by myself with no help. So it is something that it was easy to do. So very doable for anybody. Since we moved here 2 years ago, I just had done like just the basic stuff to get me going, working. So it wasn't really like fully set up. So as you see here, I installed the flooring, which is a sheet vinyl. So that was the first thing that went in before I brought anything into these two-car garages. Is my working area. And then I believe I had installed these racks here for my commercial glazes. I installed a bench that I made that myself, a workbench that is pretty large with a sink and a clay trap. So I had all that set up. I paid for an electrician to put the overhead lighting that was really nice, LED. It makes this area like really bright, which, as you know, we need to have good lighting. And I had my wheel. So other than that, and some tables that I got very inexpensively at like marketplace, Facebook marketplace. But I didn't have like dedicated areas for doing other things like hand building. I didn't have an area for wedging my clay. I was wedging my clay on my workbench that is laminate. As you know, that's not really that good to do that because the clay sticks, right? So I am gonna give you a complete tour in detail, and if I miss anything, please feel free to comment and ask me questions. I am gonna try to be as detailed as possible, so it might be a little lengthy, this video, but that's how I am. If you don't like it, you can always fast forward. I know I've had some people complain that I talk too much sometimes on my videos, but I like to be thorough and give you as much information as I can to help you out. Just like I get information, I get tips from other people, so I'm trying to do the same thing, giving you some tips and ideas for if you have a garage studio, what you can do to really make this a comfortable area to work and to be creative. So I am gonna turn the camera around and we'll go through everything. Oh, and by the way, this is a great apron. I just wanted to give you a shout out to my sister. She made this for me, and how sweet is this? Because I love tropical things, and she made this as a fabric. It's from Brazil, and it's got all the parrots, and I just love it. So, and it's made for, it's open, so you can sit on the wheel and not get dirty. So thank you, sis. And let's go around and start this tour. So I'm starting over here in this area where you see this door here. It goes to my kitchen. So this is an attached garage, and this area here is my hand building station that I just recently put all together. The bench is from Marketplace. I got it for $20, which was a steal. Everything is wood, except that it was pretty old, so it needed some bracing because some of the screws were already stripped. And what I did is, because it was completely open here, this whole bottom part, it did have that shelf here. But what I did is I added a second shelf right there, which is about half of the width of this bench. And it gave me a great area to store. Pull the chair here, as you can see. Gave me a great area to store some boxes with things that I use for hand building. And I can still sit and put my legs in there because I like to work sitting down. I do not like to work on a bench or anything else standing up. So that's what I like. And I also added a lot of bracing. I used 2x4s to brace up and make this really sturdy. I replaced the casters. I don't think you can see. So this is a movable bench, and it's got nice casters I got at Home Depot that can hold a lot of the weight. I've installed the birch plywood in here, which makes it real nice. It was wood, but I had to strip all the veneer, so it was gonna be a lot of work. So I decided to just spend a little bit more money and make this top here really nice with birch. And then I put a trim that I stained in here on the sides, but not the birch, is just sanded real smooth. So this will make a great surface area. And on the wall over here, and by the way, I am gonna put all the links of anything that I'm mentioning here, which makes the work very good use of the space that I have on the walls. Great for hanging all my rollers and tools that I use for hand building. I've installed this LED light here, which made this whole area right here on the bench really bright. So that wasn't that expensive, and it was perfect for that spot. It is from Home Depot. It's an LED light. The pegboards are made out of some kind of hard plastic, but it works great. And I've installed that, and it holds all my tools. Right above that, right here, I used, I think it's 1x6 boards that I just made that shelf. At first, I was gonna make that just to put some smaller pieces that I work on, like mugs and stuff, would give me a place to put them there after I'm done. But then I decided to have a place to display my pottery, which is not mine, by the way. All these mugs are, only one is mine, it's the parrot right there. But all the other ones are from other artists that I collect. So I don't have a huge collection, but I'm pretty happy with what I have. Above is some of my bird collection that is like stone carved birds that I collected. They're all from Brazil. That parrot there was one of the first pieces I carved when I was learning how to carve. And he has a crack, unfortunately, a crack right through the middle, but I saved him because it brings me joy to look at him. So it's there as a just displaying. Anyways, that's it for my station. Oh, and I added this, a paper towel dispenser right here. This is a cart. I brought it here to be close to the bench because I'm sure I'm gonna be using it to put other tools and things that I use, stencil work and stamps and stuff in here. So it's a movable cart that I got from Amazon. It works great. The chair, I love this chair. I just bought it from Amazon as well. It is for a height that is higher than average, like for a table. You know, it is made for a bench or a counter height. What I like about this is that it does have a real nice cushion, like I believe it's memory foam. It's very comfortable. It's very ergonomic. All adjustable, like all these arms can come down. I put it here so I can work on the bench. I don't need it. Put it back. Anyways, it's all adjustable. It tilts, it goes up and down. The footrest can be adjusted, which I put it lower so it can go underneath the shelf, that bottom shelf like that. So it saves up space. But it's great. It was a little pricey. I believe I paid, I want to say $170 or $180 for this chair, but well worth it because I am going to be sitting here for many hours doing work. So I definitely needed something comfortable. I'm going to back out here for you to see other things. I do have the sun coming in from these windows here, so I hope you can still see things well, even with the sunlight coming in. Anyways, this bracket system here, I got it from Amazon as well. They're very sturdy. Some of the brackets on the back I installed on the studs, and some I didn't. I just used the anchor. So I would say at least one side is on the stud, but not the other side is on an anchor. Same thing here. One side is on the stud and not the other one, because they're not 16 inches apart. I believe it's like 14 something, the distance between this back bracket here and the other. And then you can adjust the height of these, but they're great for fitting all my commercial glazes in here. And recently I added this one here that gives me more space, and now I have empty shelves to get some more. This is my circuit breaker, which I'm planning to do here is either put one of the posters that I have that I really haven't found a home yet, so I might put it here, or I am debating if I should make an oil painting to cover that, the circuit breaker, to make something tropical to cheer up this area right here. And that's another thing. I am planning on painting some things here, just because everything they painted, the builders painted all gray. So I need some color. I do need some color on the wall. So I am gonna do something about that to add more interest and more tropical things is what I like. These cabinets are, like I said before, I did install all of them. They are wall cabinets, but they are great for using it the way I'm doing it here as a base cabinet, because you can install off from the floor. As you can see, I have about close to a foot away from the floor, which gives me plenty of space to sweep under and mop. Very easy to clean underneath. I am trying to, my goal is to have everything off the floor, so when I'm cleaning, it's easy to move things, or things are on casters, they can be moved, except for my tables. But everything else, as you see, is on rollers. So these do have these nice 2 shelves. I do have a lot of them still empty that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna fill it up, but very sturdy shelving. They're all solid wood from Ikea, and it was about 130 for each cabinet, and I got 5 to go in this whole wall right here. Then over here, where I did have this whole wall with those old bookshelves that, like I said, it didn't really work that well for me. And all these brackets are also from Amazon. And I did my research. They are much cheaper per unit than Home Depot and Lowe's is what I compared to. Let me see if I remember how much they were. I don't know, I got a whole box. I think it comes with 12 of these. But I've been using these pretty much everywhere here and on my other third car garage for my tools, because it makes it, they're very sturdy. And I got these pine boards from Home Depot. They're 10 inches wide by an inch, and it makes it very sturdy, and you can either screw them on here from this bracket, screw them so they're fixed, or you can have them, just place them on these and have them as wear boards, so you can fill these out when you put your pottery and then just put them back here, which I've done with the ones over there. They're not fixed, so I can use those as a wear board to put all my work. But these work really great, very sturdy. You can get away by doing the distance between brackets. I did 32 inches on center, which they are on the studs, so makes it very sturdy. That's Morgan enjoying the sunlight over there in her bed. That's my miniature schnauzer. She loves to hang around over there. And my other dog is on the other bench, on the other window. My slab roller, which I have some work over there right now that I'm working on. But this area here, I still need to do some work underneath, which can be also used as storage. So I need to do some work over there. My wheel is right here. I got this cart because I saw that on Sarah Walton's Pottery on YouTube. So check out her videos, they're great. And she had recently a studio tour where she showed this, and I thought was great because it does have a lot of things you can hang even on the sides. This one just fell off. Let me see if I can put it back. Yeah. So this is another area where I can put like a paper towel. It came with two, but I used it here because I use paper towel to just wipe my hands after I take things from the bat and put it somewhere else. I always wipe my hands with paper towel. So I needed that. And it's got like little hooks on the other side. And I'm sure I'm gonna fill it up with tools. I just haven't, because for the last 2 weeks, I really haven't touched clay. So today is the day I am starting working back up on my, I have tons of stuff to do. So I am starting back today. My wheel is a VL Whisper, which I love that. I don't know if you guys have that. I know Brent is also a great brand of wheels, but this one is different from the others because it doesn't have a belt. It's a brushless motor, I believe it's called. And it's quiet, like you don't hear anything when you're working on that. So it's very quiet on my studio, except for sometimes I have my music going. But I love this wheel. I've had it now for close to 10 years. And if it ever breaks, which is still working great, by the way, but I would buy another one in a heartbeat. It's a great wheel. So I do recommend that. What else? I guess we can move this here. So this table here is pretty long. I can accommodate 6 people if I have like a workshop, like I just had it recently. Everybody was sitting here comfortably on this table. Then I have another table here that with these chairs, they're very comfy. These also came for free from Marketplace. These used to be I think it's Lazy Boy chairs, and they were office chairs, but they are so comfortable. I love them, and I can't believe I got them for free. It's still in great shape. Just another little table that I can work in here when I'm designing something. As you can see, I take a lot of pictures, and I work off of pictures to get inspired for the work I carve. My mandevilla plant that I just brought in from outside to save it from this frost that we just had. So she's gonna reside here through the winter, and look at it, it's still blooming. This is a great plant. I love mandevilla. It's gotta be one of my favorites, but it's a tropical plant. So she's gonna be here for the winter. I do have a split unit heater and AC right here. Right now I have it off, even though I had it going this morning because it was a little chilly. It was 40 something degrees, 46 degrees. So I heated up this morning, and now it's very comfortable here. So it's off. I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys. So now this is the bench that I built first thing when we moved here. It is very sturdy because I wanted to store my clay on that shelf. So I made sure that that was gonna be, it's probably even overkill, but I braced that thing. It's built in, so it's screwed into the wall on the studs, the shelf, and it's got the brace, you know, on each side here and on that middle part. So it also supporting the top. So it is very sturdy. At first I thought I was gonna put a board here just to make it as a wedging table because the laminate really doesn't work that well for that. But then I decided to just make my wedging area right here. So I installed the sink, which works as a deep sink. So it works really well. I have a whole system here for my clay trap. If you guys want me to do a complete video of my clay trap, because we are on a septic system, so I need to ensure there are no clay going to my septic system because that would be problems later on. It would cause a lot of issues. So I took all the precautions I could to make sure that only the water is going through the drain. So as you can see here, I do have a little trap that goes into the drain part right here. But even before that, as you can see, I have a strainer that I put a mesh, like this is a real fine mesh thing that I put over the strainer to catch. You can see that it catches all the debris before it goes into the drain. And this is a yogurt mesh that people use. So I bought this on Amazon as well. But it works great. So I always, if I'm washing my hands, anything, I wash it on top of this and it catches everything here. And then it goes into this bucket. So this is a 3-bucket system, but it goes into this bucket. And as you can see here on the bottom, that line over here, that's actually the clay that has settled to the bottom and just the water. The walls get pretty dirty, but it's actually just the water that is floating around here. Then it goes from that bucket into this bucket over here, which is a huge bucket, storage bin, plastic. And then inside that bucket, I have another smaller buckets where this water goes into. And then I put little holes around on the top, so it actually, the water flows from that. So that's why it's a 3 buckets. So I have 1, 2, and there is another one inside. And then finally it goes on the back here. Let me see if I can capture that. It goes, let's see, into my drain right there. So that's how that works. And since I didn't have anything above that, and I made sure I can still get to the lid, you know, when it's time to clean up. So I gave it a distance here where I can still catch, you know, do the work here. But I installed my wedging table, which is pretty small, but it's good just for me. So I made sure also it's really sturdy. I made it all with 2x4s, nice 3/4 inch plywood in here all around so it doesn't splatter the clay. I have my little paper towel dispenser here. This one is metal. This pegboard is called Wall Control from Amazon. I did this whole wall here with that, and you, all these things, all these little gadgets that you can put in here, like trays, little cups to hold your things, hooks, anything you can think of, you can find. As you can see, these hooks here, I can hang stuff here. They're very useful. I just installed this little basket here just to hold all my sponges. I am gonna put my clay wire cutter right here for the clay. I'm gonna hang them here. What else? Oh, I want to give another shout out to Sarah Walton again for giving me this tip. She uses this bamboo, I believe it's for a dish rack for drying dishes, but it works great for holding your bats in here. I love it because this is what I had before and it couldn't hold that many in here. It was also bamboo, so it's a much smaller one. But I do have smaller bats that I could still put them in here. But thank you, Sarah, for all your great tips on when you did your studio tour. I got these from you. Thank you so much. So all these little bins, I can put it, you know, little things that we use for pottery, like tapes that I use to use as label on my buckets of glazes and stuff. They're here. And as you can see, there are several other things here that I use, more little baskets that I use in here. Then the same brackets that I use for the shelving, I put them here. So you're gonna see that all over is what I used because they're very sturdy. So here I might have gone overboard and put the distance is 16 inches on the stud, but I wanted to make sure they would hold a lot of weight. So I have my glazes, the buckets with the glazes, they're pretty heavy. So that's why I did that. But I think I could have gotten away of just putting it every 32 inches. Above that, I have all my raw materials because I do mix some of my glazes as well. So here are all my raw materials on top. Some over here. It fits everything in here. And then I have on the other car garage, I have more glazes that wouldn't fit in here, but all my raw materials are in here. And I think that's it for this area. I don't think I missed anything. Again, I will include the links for pretty much everything that I'm using here that I just recently installed. It makes life so much easier when you have things where you can put things where they belong, giving them a home. So it declutters and it gives you, I don't know, it gives that clean look. I hope I can keep it that way. So now we're going to the third car garage. Oh, and here I put a hook to hang all my aprons right here. And that bird over there, let me see if I can zoom in. I need to give him a nice fresh painting him because he has faded. He was outside, so I brought him in for the winter. He brings me joy. So it's my wind chime. So this is my third car garage. I will put a picture. I didn't take that many before pictures, but I do have a couple, I think. So you guys can have an idea how cluttered this room was. So I gave away tons of stuff. We went to Goodwill. I threw away a lot of trash, but it's finally, I'm so happy and excited about this because it's finally an empty, not empty, but I can walk around and it's so liberating to declutter. That's how I feel. So this is my 2 kilns right here, and I put it close to the door and just a place for me to put all the kiln furniture in there. I do have my bats sitting on the floor here on that bucket so that all the stuff from the kiln wash would fall into that little bucket here and not make the floor all dirty. Oh, hi, Lulu. This is my daughter's dog. My miniatures now is a Lulu, and Morgan, that's my dog. She's white, so Morgan and Lulu are here watching us. So have a nice window here. It's really bright today, but I have a nice view. Sometimes I open my garage doors and I just have a nice view to work looking at that. So I love that. So these are my 2 kilns. Now I have an empty table that I can use to load and unload the kiln. I can put things here and a little bit here too, but I need to share that with my tools. So that's my saw. I had to put it here because it's so big and it does take a lot of space. I set up that table there just to have some of my glazes sitting there. I still need to know what to do with some of the glazes that I don't use. So I'm gonna get to that, but a lot of the glazes yesterday, what I did is I went through most of my glazes, put it to a sieve and stirred them and added, some of them needed more water, so I added that. So now they're good to go. All my glazes that I use the most, they're nice and fresh. Had to put some of we hanged that ladder there, which was great to add more room for that table. I added some of my gardening tools there. My water tank is under behind this wall here, so it's in there. And these are all empty buckets that I need to know what to do with them. I still have some clay related stuff on these shelves. These are really sturdy shelving that I have over here that I can still use. But here are most of my tools, and I installed that same thing again. I keep on repeating that, but I love these brackets. And I use that same system everywhere. I install these to put all my tools and things that I use on my yard. Same thing here. As you can see, I am addicted to some power tools because I am the handy person here on the house. I fix everything. I do a lot of the yard work. I do different projects. So these are all my power tools and other tools that I use. I use a lot of these hooks system that I bought at Home Depot. They're great for organizing all your tools, your wrenches, your hammers, and all that kind of stuff. Screwdrivers. My husband asked me, why do you need 3 hammers for? But person can never have too many tools. I added those little baskets here on top. I even added some other hook system that I keep all my brooms and mops in here in this area, ladder. And back to my kiln again. But I'm happy that this area, now we can walk. Before, it's like it was cluttered everywhere. So I'm so happy about that. And I even added a little flower picture in there. You can tell this is a woman's garage. This is my garage. All 3 car garages are mine. My husband doesn't mind. He's happy that I have a nice place now to work, a nice creative space. So let me know if you guys have any questions at all. I'll try to answer them and give you some tips and links for you to get ideas if you ever want to set up a studio in a garage. It is very much doable. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.